Welcome to Vintage Times. In this video titled, 20 Amazing Photos from the Past, we explore a collection of rare photographs that shed light on the fascinating world of freak shows from the early 20th century. Isaac Sprague, living skeleton. Isaac Sprague regularly consumed twice as much food as an average person. He was born healthy, but at the age of 12, he suddenly began to lose weight. Isaac was often seen with a flask of milk around his neck, which he would periodically sip to stay conscious. Despite being 168 centimeters tall, this unique individual weighed only about 18 kilograms. Mike, the headless chicken. Mike lived for 18 months after his head was almost completely chopped off. At the peak of his popularity, the chicken earned his owners $4,500 per month and was valued at $10,000. Lucia Zarate, smallest woman in the world. Lucia looked like a doll and weighed less than most domestic cats. This made her the most extraordinary midget in all of history. She was the highest paid midget at the time, $20 an hour. Ella Harper, camel girl. Ella Harper had an amazing ability. She could turn her knee joints back at will. With this act, the camel girl performed in the circus for several years, earning $200 a week, crazy money for the end of the 19th century. Louise, leopard girl, white Negro. This girl suffered from vitiligo, a skin disease that causes spots to appear. The term, white Negro, was very popular then. It was used to refer to people born with albinism or vitiligo. Josephine Clofulia, bearded lady. Bearded women were very popular and were an integral part of the old circus. Pasquale Pinon, two heads. The second head could move its lips. Sometimes the head smiled with a beautifully contoured mouth with a row of small snow-white teeth. They were the size of a grain of rice. Baptiste Hugo and Antoine Hugo, two giant brothers. They were also called Alpine Giants and Hugo's twins. The brothers were photographed a lot, either surrounded by passers-by or with members of their family. Martin Joe Laurello, Owlman. Martin, famously known as the Owlman, had the extraordinary ability to turn his head 180 degrees. This unique talent amazed audiences and earned him a place in various sideshows and freak shows. Miran Daho, an invulnerable person. This Dutchman allowed spectators to pierce himself through and swallowed fragments and blades, without any harm. During one performance in Zurich, to prove to the public that this was not a hoax, Dajo was pierced with 3 hollow 8mm tubes through which water was released. Fannie Mills, woman with giant feet. Fannie Mills from Ohio suffered from lymphedema, stagnation of lymph in the tissues, leading to severe swelling of the lower extremities. There was no cure for this disease in the 19th century, and Fannie, who found it very difficult to walk, had to make a living in a freak show. Stefan Bibrovsky, Lion Man. Stefan, who suffered from increased hair growth, was noticed by the owner of a freak show in Europe and bought from his parents at the age of 4. Since then, he has traveled all over the world, performing in various shows and earning good money. Stefan was a very smart and educated man. He spoke 5 languages. Madame Obama, giantess. African giantess Obama performed as the tallest woman in the world. The posters indicated that at one time Madame Obama, her real name was Grisby, worked as a nanny. Minnie Woolsey, bird girl. Minnie was born in 1880 and was nicknamed Cuckoo Bird Girl. She suffered from a disease related to her skeleton and was completely blind. Billed as the blind girl from Mars, she never reacted to her surroundings and could sit motionless on a chair for hours. Frank Lentini, man with 3 legs. His twin brother, consisting of 1 leg and a full set of genitals, was born attached to Frank's spine. Attached to the 3rd leg was a 4th foot, small, deformed and painful. Thus, Lentini had 3 legs, 4 feet, a pair of genitals, and 16 toes. Felix Worrell, Gum Man. The man suffered from Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which causes a person's skin to become incredibly elastic. Worrell could stretch his skin from any part of the body to unimaginable sizes. Grady Franklin Stiles, Cancer Man. Stiles suffered from extradactyly, a split hand. His father had the same disease. He performed in freak shows all his life and, naturally, brought his son into the business. Grady Stiles Jr., among other things, could not walk, but his arms were extremely strong. Anna Swan, Giantess. The American who performed in Barnum's Circus was one of the tallest women. Her exact height is unknown. According to various sources, it ranges from 229 to 242 centimeters. Myrtle Corbin, Four-Legged Girl. Myrtle Corbin from Texas, born with an extra pelvis and an extra pair of underdeveloped legs, has performed in the circus since she was 13 years old. She was always very popular and made great money. However, at the age of 18, she left the circus, got married, and gave birth to 4 daughters and a son. Robert Huddleston, Ponyboy. Due to his joints being turned in the opposite direction from birth, Robert Huddleston could not move or even stand on 2 legs, and walked exclusively on all 4s. In his youth, he earned his living by working as a real horse. Lumberjacks would harness him to a cart, and he would drag a cart loaded with logs from the forest to the village, 25 kilometers away. From this work, Robert's shoulders and arms gained extraordinary strength. And yet it is not surprising that at the first opportunity he happily ran away from her to the first circus of freaks he came across. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. Subscribe please.